Good morning, everybody. I hope the video finds you well today. Been getting a lot of great feedback through the Google Classroom and through the email. So keep up the good work, and like I've been telling you guys all year, just keep on making everything better and better. Go back, work at it, try to change one thing every time just to make it a little bit better. So today, clarinets, obviously, we're going to be going through Lesson 9 and Lesson 11. These are some low register notes. These are very important. It's kind of the rest of the instrument down here. We've been working mostly with all left hand stuff, just the one note, the B, so far in that in the right hand. So this is going to incorporate more fingers. We're only going to be working on the notes B flat. I'll show this up here. It's kind of reverse, I guess, but B flat, A, and G. Remember, your left hand is on the top. This video, this is my left hand. So make sure that left hand is on top. And one way to start this off, I just want everyone just to kind of, I'm going to move in here, just kind of play down those fingers, B flat, A, G. Keep the right hand down, the left hand down, that's the top hand, and work to cover those holes. Make sure the pad of your finger is covering each hole. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to sort of play down this. Start on a C. Remember, your thumb is covering that back hole. Pad of the thumb. C. And then we'll work our way down, sort of like this. And do that all in one breath. Just slur it. That will be absolutely fine. After you get that pretty solid, then you can start tonguing the notes. I would also take a few minutes to kind of play around, starting on your B, second finger, B, A, G. And a lot of you will recognize these are the same recorder notes for hot cross buttons. So now that you know B, you're learning the A and the G, you could play hot cross buttons in that low clarinet register. Okay, so once you get that down and kind of do that away from the book, go into your actual lesson itself. So we're going to start right with Lesson 9, line number 1. Starts on a B flat. They show you the note with the letter name, and then it progresses through. So I'm going to play through these. That way you get an idea what they sound like. Hopefully I don't make any mistakes. And we'll go from there. So this is Lesson 9, line 1. And you notice I'm stopping before we reach those low Fs. If you want to do the low F, the fingering chart is there. It is the bottom front right pinky key. But we don't need to worry about that this year necessarily. But by all means, go ahead if you feel comfortable. Okay, moving to line 2. It starts off on a B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Line 3, I haven't mentioned anything about key signatures yet, but always check your key signature. Line 3 is in 3/4 time, and it starts on a B flat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, continuing on, We're going to skip the next few exercises. Line 4 works you down to that low F. Again, feel free to do that if you'd like. Line 5 does the same. Music in the air, very similar to your red Standard of Excellence book, except everything is played basically down 1 octave. That is down 8 notes from what you have on page 16 in the red book. Okay, I have a page turn on Down in the Valley, but we're going to do our best, as we say. So here is Down in the Valley, once again, 3/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that is Down in the Valley. I believe that is Do Your Best with line 3. Okay. So yeah, basically you can go through all of these as I indicated in the lessons. So here's Man in the Flying Trapeze. Again, 3/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. The squeaks are optional, of course. Just kidding. All right, moving on to lesson 11. So that's all your low notes in lesson 11. Those low notes do make an appearance again. And you're going to see some high notes as well, too. And we'll talk about those next year, depending where things are. Okay, so lesson 11, just kind of, this was in the new packet that you all got. Starts out with a really great warm-up. I like this warm-up. It's basically a 6-note warm-up. Look at the very beginning of the line. You have your treble clef. I'll try to bring this around here. You have, can we see that? Your treble clef, of course this is backwards. Let's just turn that around. All right, never mind. Treble clef and your time signature. There is nothing in the key signature, so that means that the second to last measure is a B natural, second finger. Okay, so number 1, you guys know this, all whole notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, line number 2, just kind of again warming up, going through some of these notes here. Let's get right to it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Line number 3 on lesson 11 uses some of those low notes again. And if you think the first note is a G, you are correct. It is that 6-finger G. Again, the thumb is there. We're covering those pads. If it doesn't come out right away, there's a few things to check. Make sure that you are covering these holes completely. Make sure you have enough reed, but not too much, in your mouth as well, too. So those are all little things to consider as you're playing. So here is line 3. Hopefully I don't squeak. 1, 2, 3, 4. line 4 we're going to skip for now. It does that low F. By all means, feel free. And then some favorites. Line 5 is this theme by Beethoven. I'm going to play it the way it's exactly written. You probably know it a different way. I'll play it the way that you probably know it afterwards. So here it is exactly as written. Notice mostly quarter note motion. 4/4 time, nothing in the key signature. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd encourage you to play that exactly as is at first. Try to resist the temptation. Once you have it exactly as is, feel free to do the old familiar. But again, there's nothing in the written music that suggests that those last 2 quarter notes should be played any different from each other. Just D, C, C. So again, that's the original versus what we all know. Moving on, Billy Boy. This is an option, I believe, as you play. Oh, before we start this one, I forgot. You'll notice in measure 2, the first 2 notes are pickups, that E, F. Those are pickup notes. It's not a full measure. But in measure 2, you have 2 notes, one above the other. The low note is C. You're going to be playing the lower notes here. We haven't gotten to the high notes yet, but that's why we learn this right hand now, is to get ready for those high notes, because they're going to use all the fingers. Okay, so here's number 6, Billy Boy, with the lower Divisi notes. And if you squeak, so it, just keep going. It's not a big deal. If you opt to do the Marines hymn, I did put that out as an option on the book. Don't be scared of that low F. Just go back to lesson 9, kind of work through that line 1, get that right pinky, and it's again at that front. If you notice the array of keys here, it's that bottom front one. That is the preferred way to play that. That occurs on the second line of Marines hymn. It happens exactly 3 times. Okay, so here's the Marines hymn. It starts with 2 pickup notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. You'll notice I skipped the repeat the first time. There are repeat dots at the end of the first line. So you play the first line twice, do the second line, and then we have the indication D, C al fine, which we all know. Go back to the beginning and play until the fine. The last item, line number 8, this is going to be part of one of the requirements for Hawk's Band. It's knowing this C scale. And there's a couple different ways I'm going to have you guys go over that over these next few weeks. So here it is as written. When you get to the divided notes, to that G, you're going to play the low G. I think that's the best way to do this for everyone at this point. You can certainly go through and play if you want, play up through the A, but then it's a B natural. So remember, we have to jump down here. It is not B flat. That's the second to last note. So it's just basically alphabet C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, so here's line 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I hope this helps you guys in this first lesson this week, just going through those. Take some time to review some old numbers as well. I told the 5th and 6th graders this week to do a best of 4th grade concert, so you can do a kind of best of the first half of 4th grade concert for your family. But even just, you guys are playing for yourself. That's the main thing. Hopefully you guys are all loving this and enjoying it as much as I do. And that's it. So good luck. I hope this helps. Any questions, please email me. Your parents have all that contact information. And that's it. All right, guys. Take care. Be well.